Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very highly requested video for you guys today, and for the most part I want to keep it short and sweet and to the point. I know a lot of you have wanted to see this from me, and it's taken me this long because I have put together a list of generally everything I do to keep my skin clear, and this is my tips for clear skin video. I will be doing a series of skincare videos on my channel, my nighttime routine, my morning routine, and just my general skincare routine. I know that a lot of you guys want to see that, but most of you requested to see my tips for clear skin, so that's what I have for you guys today. So please keep in mind in this video that everyone has different reactions, everyone has different skin. Some techniques work better for other people, but I do feel like a lot of what I'm going to tell you in this video is pretty universal. I will tell you that my skin type lately is quite dry, but again, I feel like a lot of these things will work for any skin types. So if you guys want to hear my tips and tricks for clear skin, then just keep on watching. So I do have all of my tips in a notepad on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that's why. I just want to make sure that I cover all of my bases here. Also, if I sound weird, I still am coming over a cold, so please excuse my voice. But I do want to start with some of the basics, some of the things that really will work if you're not doing them already. And it has to do with things that touch your face. So I know a lot of us know that your cell phone should be clean at all times, but if you aren't paying attention to that and you're taking calls and you're holding it up to the side of your face, your phone has so much bacteria on it from you touching it all day long, from it being set on certain surfaces. So what I like to do is always wipe it down with an alcohol wipe at least once a day. Some disinfectant type of wipe you're going to want for your cell phone, because you even can transfer the germs onto your hands and then touch your face. So make sure your phone is clean. It really will help a lot. That is one thing that you want to keep clean. Another thing that you are going to want to make sure is clean is, of course, your makeup brushes. So I know that this is hard and a lot of people are guilty of this. I've been guilty of this. But you want to make sure that your foundation brushes and your concealer brushes, the ones that touch your face, are cleaned every single time before you use them. I deep clean all of my brushes, my eye brushes, face brushes once a week, but I always make sure that my foundation brush or my beauty blender is completely clean before I put it on my face, because brushes, whether you like it or not, harbor bacteria, and you're going to get that bacteria in your pores as you work your makeup into your face. So make sure that your brushes are clean. I promise you it will make a huge difference. A while back I actually had a lot of trouble with acne on my cheeks and I couldn't figure out why, and I washed my contour brush, my blush brushes, and all of those brushes, and it actually started getting better. So I know it's gross, but you just want to make sure that your brushes are clean because they do harbor bacteria. So that is the second thing that you want to make sure is clean. Now the next two things that you want to keep clean are very, very important. It's something you don't want to skip over, you don't want to let it go too long, and that is your pillowcases and also your blankets. And I know I sound like such a mom right now, but you want to make sure that you are washing them at least once a week. You want to make sure that your pillowcases get cleaned more than your blankets and your sheets. But your pillowcases, you're resting on it all night long, you're flipping, you're getting both sides of your face, you could be getting the front of your face. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning that because it's going to get a lot of bacteria, a lot of dead skin. It just holds a lot of bacteria, so just make sure that that's clean, because you have to think about what your face is touching throughout the day, especially if you're getting some problem areas. So here is where the blanket comes into play. Now again, I know you guys might think that this is really gross, but it's just the truth. I found out something that was happening to my face and I'm sharing it with you guys. Now the reason I found out that you really need to keep your comforter and your outer blankets clean is because, at least for me, I pull my blankets all the way up to my face and they come to about here on me, and I realized that it was rubbing against my jaw area and my chin area, and it might not have been clean enough. So I've been cleaning my blankets a lot more than I used to, and I've been using a detergent that doesn't have harsh ingredients in it, and this area right here has been clearing up a little bit more. I do still have some irritation, but that's something to keep in mind because your blankets and the edges and everything can also harbor bacteria, and then they rub against your face. So if those things are rubbing against you and they're not clean, they are going to cause some type of irritation or acne, and you don't want that. So those things are some of the basics that you might not think about on a daily basis, but could be feeding into your acne every single day. So as long as you have those things covered, the very generic basic things, you can move on to the next things that are also equally as important, but you can rest assured that those are not causing your acne. So I know a lot of people get mad when you are told that you should be washing your face to prevent acne, because we all wash our face to prevent acne, but my tip for washing your face, actually I have two of them. One is to make sure you never go to sleep with your makeup on. If you are going to sleep with makeup on, you're probably causing acne, even if you just do it once. So I never go to sleep with makeup on. It's always a huge mistake, and I regret it if I do. So make sure you're not going to sleep with it on. And along the lines of washing your face, I do have some steps that I take after I wash my makeup off that will help to get the deep down makeup out of your skin and make sure that all of your pores are really, really clean. So if you struggle with acne of any kind and you've never used this next product that I'm going to show you guys, you're going to have a serious change in your skin, at least in the beginning of using this product, because it makes a huge difference. So this is called an astringent, and what this does is it pulls out the excess dirt and makeup that you may have missed, actually that you definitely have missed when you clean your face. So keep in mind, an astringent is going to dry out your face because it does have alcohol in it. This one is from Walmart. As you can see, I've used a decent amount of it because this is a miracle worker. So what I like to do while I use this, because you really can overuse this, you can stress out your skin and you can make it worse. So I like to wash my face. Usually it's after I get out of the shower. I will wash it again to make sure I got all of the makeup off of it. And then I will take this, I will drop it onto a round cotton pad, and I will swipe it all over my face, especially around the nose and in areas that might be hard to get when you're washing your face. And I keep this away from my dry patches. This will severely dry out your face if you put it on your dry patches. So I like to use it where I know the makeup likes to stick, but that's usually it. And then after you're done, you need to moisturize, because if you don't, your skin's going to be extremely dry and it's just going to make the situation worse. So after you use an astringent, make sure you're using a heavy moisturizer. I have a lot of moisturizers that I like, but really anything will work as long as you're putting that moisture back into your face that you just took away. So if you guys want to pick this up and try it, if you haven't, it will make a big difference in your skin. You're getting your skin more clean than you ever have. Doesn't matter if you wear makeup or not, this will pull the dirt out of your pores that you can't get. So highly recommend this. It is a life changer. Another tip I have for makeup users is if you're using a product that you have to apply directly to your face, like a concealer with a doe foot or anything along those lines, and you realize that you're starting to break out, you may have infected that product at some point using it. So the best thing for you to do, unfortunately, is throw that product away. If you do realize that something you're using is affecting your face and giving you acne, you could either have dirty applicators, or the product could be infected, or your brushes are dirty. So sometimes it's trial and error. You have to stop using something. I've had bronzers that have either had an ingredient in it that didn't work with my skin, or like I said, it got infected and it would give me breakouts along the contour area. So if you are a makeup wearer, usually you can identify the areas of your face that have problems. So for example, say you have a problem area in your blush area on your cheeks. It could be the actual blush pan could be infected. It could be your brush needs to be washed, or it could be your cell phone that you're holding in that area. So really you have to self-diagnose when it comes to random patches of acne like that you know are caused by something that you're using. But I know that I'm a germaphobe and I've had to throw out countless concealers and powder products and things like that, because you can usually tell when they're starting to do something to your face or when they're expired, and it's just the best to throw them away and get a new product that you know is not causing any problems. Another tip I have for makeup wearers really goes down to the basics. You have to think about how you get acne, and that's usually, sometimes it's definitely genetic and hormonal. I will get to that. But sometimes it is because you are clogging your pores with something. So what I like to do and what I like to tell myself is, if I clog my pores with good products that aren't going to give me acne, then I can put my makeup on and rest assured that that's not going to get in my pores and cause me acne. The first thing I do before I do my makeup is make sure that my face is clean and moisturized, because the moisturizer goes into your pores first. And then I like to use a pore filling primer, not only to diminish the look of pores, but to fill them up before I put makeup on. Because if I just put the makeup on, it's just makeup in my pores. So I use my Benefit Professional. This really fills in your pores and smooths everything out. It makes your makeup look good, and it also helps me rest easy because I know that my foundation is not in my pores. This is in my pores, and it's meant to be in my pores. So I know that that might sound crazy to some people, but really, if you fill your pores with something that's meant to be in there, it's not going to give you a reaction unless you're allergic to it. It's not going to break you out because it's meant to be there. So hopefully that makes sense, and I definitely like to moisturize and fill my pores with a pore filling primer before any makeup touches my face. Along the lines of touching your face, I know that I probably don't need to tell any of you guys this, but your hands do have the most germs. They have the most natural oils, so don't touch your face unless you absolutely must. And if you have to, make sure that you have a hand sanitizer or that your hands are clean. I like to make sure that I don't rest on my hands throughout the day, and I know that it's hard and I know that it's annoying, but it really can cause acne in some people. So just be aware of how often you're touching your face and if your hands are clean while you're touching your face, because that is another contributor to acne, and this is all about keeping that acne away. Okay, so all of the tips that I've shared up to this point are to keep acne at bay, to keep a clear face. Sometimes we get acne. Sometimes we get it from hormones, sometimes we get it from touching our face, from making mistakes, sleeping in our makeup, etc. So when you do have acne, I do have some tips to get rid of it while also maintaining a clear face. Because if you get rid of acne improperly, you will end up with scars, which is really unfortunate and even harder to get rid of. So I do have some tips for when I get acne. When I get acne, it usually is hormonal, so it's cystic, which means that it's under the skin. It's not something that you even can pop. But if you do get acne that you can pop, don't do it. Definitely don't do it. What I like to do for my cystic acne and acne that just needs to go away without me scratching it, I'm a victim of scratching. I really need to not do that. I like to do a spot treatment, and this is only on the very worst of breakouts. I don't use this on healthy skin because if you use a spot treatment on healthy skin, one, you're going to dry it out, and two, I honestly feel like it will work less for you next time. So only use it when you need to use it. And the spot treatment that I use has salicylic acid. There are two forms of acne medication, I believe, that are in the drugstore. There's benzoyl peroxide and there's salicylic acid. Benzoyl peroxide does not work for me, so I have to use salicylic. And this is by Clean & Clear. This is called the Advantage Mark Treatment. I believe it's around $14. It's at Walmart, it's at the drugstore, and it's just a clear gel, and I like to put this on before bed. That's my favorite way to spot treat, is so that it can sit there overnight and be there for a while and really treat the acne while I'm sleeping. Unfortunately, spot treating for me doesn't make my acne go away overnight or anything like that. It just gets rid of a little bit of redness, and as long as it flattens it down, I feel okay because I can cover it with makeup the next day. But this is the spot treatment that I use, and I recommend it if you haven't tried it yet. It is a good one. And I actually do have another product to show you guys that has gotten rid of my acne overnight, but like I said, my skin and other people's skin, once you start using things, you get used to them and then it's not as effective. So this is no longer effective for me, but when I first started using it, it got rid of my acne right away anytime I had a breakout. And this is called Grease Lightening from Lush. This is a tea tree cleanser, so it has tea tree oil in it, I'm guessing. It says it's a super effective tea tree and witch hazel gel to clean acne prone skin and remove oil. So this used to work for me very, very well. So these two products I would use as spot treatments on very bad acne. And like I said, my goal for spot treatments is just to get that acne down flat to where I can cover it up. But yeah, so these are the two that I recommend. The goal when spot treating your acne is actually to dry it out, because once you dry it out, it stops feeding the acne, if that makes sense. So you dry out the acne. So if you guys don't have a spot treatment on hand, you can use a toothpaste. And I know it sounds crazy, but anything that dries like that is going to help you get rid of it. So if you have nothing on hand, try toothpaste, put a little bit of it on the problem area and let it sit there until it completely gets crusty and dry, and then wipe it off. And that can help if you're in an emergency situation where you don't have any medicine or anything like that. Another thing that you can try is to put a hot washcloth over the problem areas. That can help draw some of the problems to the surface, and that usually helps get rid of it faster. It opens up the pores. So if you use a hot washcloth before cleansing and toning your face, it will open up your pores and help some of that dirt get removed. So that's another tip if you already have some breakouts that you're struggling with. So at this point in the video, I've shared pretty much all of my tips for you guys. I do have a lot of tips because I've just struggled with this in the past, and I don't struggle with it now, and I feel like there's a reason for that. And one of the reasons is my last tip for you guys. If you are seriously struggling with acne, I recommend seeing a doctor or a dermatologist. I did not see a dermatologist for acne, but I did end up getting birth control. So if you are a female and you are older and you do want to get birth control for any reason, just know that it does help clear your skin. Mine has definitely helped, especially with hormonal acne. So whether you're male or female, go see a dermatologist if you're having a lot of trouble with acne, because a lot of that could be medical, it could be genetic, and you could need way more help than tips like this or anything that you can find in the drugstore. So that would be my final tip for you guys, would be to go seek professional help, because doctors know what they're doing and they will help you find a solution, especially if you are struggling with your confidence, if you're struggling with anything like that. I feel like you need to go seek help, because you don't have to live with that if you don't want to. If you guys have any other tips that I have not shared in this video and anything that has really worked for you, I really encourage you to leave it in the comments of this video. I really like to help each other out in the comments. So if you have any tips that really work, leave them down below so that others can see it, because I know that most of the time when you're watching a video like this, you really are struggling, and I feel you if you are. Just know that you're beautiful no matter what, and literally everyone struggles with acne at some point in their life. And try some of these things out if you haven't already, and I promise it will make a little bit more of a difference. And I'm really sorry if you're struggling with anything genetic or cystic. I know it's so annoying and so awful, but you will get through it, especially if you go see a doctor and they diagnose you or they give you a medicine for it. So that's pretty much all that I have to say. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them down in the comments and I will try to answer you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. If you do try out any of these tips, please let me know. I would love to know how they work for you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos every single week, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.